So we're gonna drive around in a circle, and I'm gonna shut the up. Is a press record, please.
Mythology. So before any of the Abrahamic stuff came in, such as gods, angels, archangels, demons, so on, even though demons were kind of present since the first season, they got into a lot of mythology. The first season got into a lot of, like, American, like, legends and stuff like that.
American to westernized, pretty much mythologies that came up around the times. One of the biggest ones is actually in their first season, too. First episode, first season.
Oh yeah, the one in white. And then they also talk about the Wendigo, which attacked Adam.
Mm-hmm.
It was a skinwalker. We've established this.
Yes, it was a skinwalker.
It was a
Wendigo was actually in the other season, but they're cousins somehow.
They're very similar looking.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to know.
Fine, the skinwalker, but that doesn't come until later, I think.
True.
In the season. Or in the series. But, yeah, you got that. And then they also talk about werewolves and vampires, you know, the usual.
Yeah, but it's actually interesting, too, how they took out the vampire's weakness on that one.
Yeah.
That's the one biggest things I actually was interested in.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing was how, like, they don't have the werewolves transform fully.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, they only have, like, a partial transformation, but still has the power boost.
Also, I think the werewolf is a Germanic, I believe, as well. So you can... But since they're the most popular, do you want to cover those first? Do you want to go over the woman in white?
Let's go over the popular one. Let's go with the vampire, simplest one. Simple and easy.
Alright, so in the show, they show vampires having, like, the retracted teeth. They can go into the sun, but they don't really establish why.
They said they did say it. It was Sam and Dean's dad that said it. It was that they had a misillusion about the sun, saying it was their weakness at first.
Mm-hmm.
But now, honestly, like, they don't care about the sun anymore. That was the main thing.
Mm-hmm.
Hey guys, next gas station I pull up to, I gotta take a leak.
Alright.
You guys can keep the recording going.
Alright.
Alright. Do you need one of us to help you to the bathroom?
No, I should be okay making it by myself.
Alright.
You know, I'm still sorry about the fact that we weren't exactly driving to your expectations with the car.
Huh?
It's time for driving your car without your permission.
It's fine. Just don't do it again. Holy person jaywalk.
Ah, shit.
I'm gonna hit by a
But
car.
are you sure you're still good to drive, even though you're kind of...
I mean, I'd probably be pissing the color blue, but yeah, I'll be fine.
Blue.
Blue. What? You guys don't piss blue as well?
Huh.
No. Oh, I thought us humans did that. Okay. That's whatever. I guess. Let's jump.
Okay.
Moving on.
Yeah.
I'm a judge.
Alright, I'm just gonna say he ate a Smurf or something. But
That's what they were. I thought they were mushrooms.
yeah, that's what they were.
Okay, on account of the place. I think there's a gas station right up here. I can use that.
Alright. I'm surprised you're not trying to go to the car shop yet.
Alright, so we'll keep talking.
Wait, there's a car shop?
Yeah, the one that we just saw. Alright.
Oh, did we pass by one from our drive down from Sedona?
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Alright.
Okay, there's a gas station right up here.
Alright, sweet.
Okay, let me just park us real quick. I'm gonna go in, use the bathroom real quick.
Alright, you gonna go water in?
Yep.
Alright.
Go over to the plants.
Yep.
Alright.
That's the plan. I'm just down.
Alright.
I'll keep recording.
Alright. I'll be right back.
People are fighting.
Yeah.
Everybody's
Kung Fu fighting. Dee, 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 dee.
Alright, here's the gas station.
Alright.
Alright, pulling in.
Alright.
Okay.
Huh.
Yep, going to the gas station real quick to go pee.
Carl, do you need anything?
Yeah.
I'll be good.
Alright. Huh.
He's a goner.
Yeah. But isn't that weird, though? Isn't that... Like, why did he say blue? Especially with those injuries, he would have been being red.
Well, he said he found mushrooms.
I don't know. You don't think? Alright.
what if he is?
Who knows? Who knows?
Like, what are we gonna do then?
I got my belt. I'll strangle. You run. How about that?
What do you mean? What?
I'll strangle him. I'm in the back seat. Okay. Simple as that.
But like, if he's a Wendigo, he'd change his shape. So like, what if he just turns into a snake and just?
Yes and no. More if you get him from right in the neck, it's hard for them to move.
Fair.
Okay. And he'll have a hard time breathing since he also said he was injured too.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Injured, quote unquote.
Yeah. All right, but let's get back into mythology though. All right.
Yeah. So we were talking vampires.
Yeah, like because in basic folklore, the vampires, it's usually vampires had to go in the full completion is that to be able to become a vampire, they would have to get the blood of the vampire first, drink that first, die.
No, so in the lore in the series,
Yeah.
what happens is that the vampire cuts themselves, they bleed into the mouth of the person, and then they can change. They don't have to die.
Yeah,
The only way that the change is fully complete is once they kill another person and eat them.
All right, but no, it's like more in the regular mythology though.
The regular mythology, they usually, like, for example, in Bram Stoker's Dracula, it's just like the bite to the same thing in Twilight.
Yeah.
Though, actually, want to know what's really interesting?
What's up?
There's actually an illness it's born from.
Makes sense since people go feral and stuff.
Well, not really just that. It's just what would happen is, for example, Bram Stoker's Dracula is based off of Vlad the Impaler, which was a very bloodthirsty,
Yeah.
king. Or prince? King? I
King.
don't remember.
It was more of a king, and he always impaled his enemies.
Yeah, and drained them of their blood as well.
Yeah.
So, there's also a queen that used to bathe in people's blood.
I think it was like one of the queens from England that did that.
That too.
Yeah, no, that was for the queen. That was one of the queens that did that. Like, it's around the first or second queen, around Queen Elizabeth's, or not before Queen Elizabeth's time, but yeah.
Well, there was this thing saying that entire.
Damn. Oh, he seems to walk fine.
Yeah.
Okay, did not piss the color blue, but I did piss the color purple. That was fun.
Ah.
I need to help my drink.
Start going.
All right, give me one sec. Bought some snacks from the gas station, real quick. Just opening up my snacks.
Nice.
Yeah. Purple's a fun color.
Yeah.
Anyway, so, but what I was saying is that apparently a bunch of the rich and wealthy people.
We'll always blame blood in the poor.
Not that. So the rich and wealthy people, including the royals, they would have this. I can't remember it right now. I might add it into a little text later. Is that they have this blood issue where the hemoglobin, which carries like oxygen, wasn't going well through the body, so it would cause stuff like darkened skin, deformities, as if like your gums would recede a lot more, so they look like fangs. And since oftentimes when they would pee, it would look very dark.
Ooh, so
like it would look like blood.
So dehydration, a form of dehydration mixed with unhealthy like eating habits.
Or not eating habits. It was just it was just a blood condition, like anemia, for example,
True.
but not anemia.
Yeah.
And what would happen during that is, so when people were like peeing this very dark color, they thought that they were pretty much like bleeding out the blood that they drank.
Yeah.
But then there were also doctors that were like, hey, guess what? To get back the issue, like to your blood and like all this, fix all those issues that you're having, drink animal blood.
The hell?
Yeah, and also like they had like, that's why they also kind of stayed inside often and stuff like that. And then for the werewolf is obviously because people were growing more hair in some places that usually don't.
Like me with my feet. I have hairy ass feet.
You gotta make a joke every time I'm drinking something, aren't you?
Who said I was joking on the feet though? They should say it like that.
And then, which is actually really interesting. So, the whole thing with werewolves is actually lycanthropy, I think it's pronounced. Which, with lycanthropy, pretty much it's not just wolves that people, because this one source I read it, they said it was like a delusion of turning into a beast, like a wolf or something. And it's not just like they're in Europe that they've had this stuff. It's also in other countries. They've had it with hyenas, bears, tigers, for example. So it's not just one place only, which is very interesting. But also kind of goes into shape-shifting a little bit.
Oh, yeah. But, okay. And let's go one step further. We were in the first episode of Supernatural.
Woman in White.
Mm-hmm. There's, like, in the comparison, Woman in White was more of someone who was trying to go after, like, people that were unfaithful to their spouses, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. For me, like, what brings it a little bit closer would have to be La Llorona. It's a Spanish folktale, more in Mexico. That one brought up more because of the fact that La Llorona only goes after children that are like misbehaving in certain ways, especially against their parents.
Yeah, and then you have the Woman in White, who, the way that that's explained is a woman dies in like a horrible way.
Yeah.
But typically it's due to the unfaithful husband. But oftentimes there are also others where it says that the woman goes crazy, kills her kids first and then herself, which is what happened in that episode.
Yeah, and you want to know something funny? With that one, it's similar to La Llorona because that's what happened to her. For in a sense, with one of the biggest comparisons was the fact that her husband was unfaithful. And so to get back at him, it was the way of like drowning the kids. But the only difference is how they're both compelled to be as ghosts. La Llorona is being compelled because God told her that you need to look for your kids to be able to be entered into heaven. What about the Maiden in White?
Sure. Aiden, you sound bored.
Huh?
You sound bored.
I have little to no input I can give on any of this.
We know.
I am merely just existing in this conversation. And driving.
Yeah.
Existing and driving.
And they said La Llorona was also a death omen as well, wasn't she?
Mm-hmm.
So for that, one of the things I heard, and you can tell me yes or no for this, was that for La Llorona, pretty much if you heard a woman crying from nearby, it meant she was far away. Meanwhile, if she was, if you heard a woman crying from far away, that means she's nearby.
Pretty much. So, big question though. Have you been misbehaving?
No, I've been naughty. I've been a naughty boy.
Leave.
Come on, you didn't see that one.
No. We know. Hey, this is why we're friends.
To Horty Joe with you.
Alright. But
I like the sound of Horty Joe.
Alright. Let's get back.
But
Stay over there.
The
Alright.
Yeah. Distracting.
Distracted.
Alright.
and then yeah.
So
she drowned her kids. God told her that she needs to continue looking around for them.
yes,
Wow,
but
Jesus
and the way
Christ.
that she goes after people is mainly with children.
Well, I've been to this church.
But yeah, so basically enough, the story for La Llorona was she got back at her husband by killing 2 of her children. 1 boy, 1 girl.
Wait, there was also 1 boy and 1 girl in the first episode of Supernatural.
Mm-hmm. That's why I said there's a comparison with those 2.
Ow, fuck that.
But you go first.
Continue.
Okay. But the difference is that the Maiden in White, she only goes after unfaithful husbands or spouses of some sort. Well, La Llorona, she only goes on after like children that have been misbehaving in certain ways, like talking back to their parents, arguing, disobeying, and other stuff like that too. That's why they use it as more as that one as a folklore for misbehaved children in Mexico. Well, I'm betting the Maiden Whites for unfaithful husbands.
Gosh, I remember one time when I was living with my dad, back when I was still in high school, and it was in the middle of the night. I've been having trouble sleeping as of late, and right outside my window, because I used to have a window like right back here by my head.
Yeah.
Huge one too. And so there was very little space between like my place and the place next door, where only people who were invited would go walking around.
Yeah.
And it sounded like there was a lady crying outside my window, which was like, oh, that's really weird, very weird. Especially because like of what was happening in the house later on. And I mean, I was already kind of used to weird stuff happening because we live nearby a train track.
True.
But to go back to La Llorona, and death omens and stuff, and kind of to go a bit more back to the native roots here.
Ooh. Alright.
Owls.
Owls? Ooh.
Yeah, so depending on where you go, owls can be looked at as kind of a good sign.
Yeah.
Um,
Some cases.
Yeah.
In others, is that I have a sister-in-law that's part of the Pima tribe.
Yeah.
Supposedly, it's a bad tale that if you notice an owl nearby, that something horrifying was going to be happening to you in some way, shape, or form.
Ooh, that's a bad.
But in most cases, it's usually just a bad luck, a form of bad luck of some sort.
With that, so this is something I heard from my friend's family a few years back.
Oh.
That if you saw an owl like in your backyard or something,
Yeah.
and their family was from what's the name? It's on the tip of my tongue. The Latin America country with the G.
Guanama?
No.
Puerto Rico?
No. Guatemala?
Guatemala. There you go.
No, it's close.
I think their family was from Guatemala, and
Gueru guy?
Gashete. Anyway, so
Mexico?
Is there baby powder nearby?
no.
Damn.
Oh, Goo Mexico?
Wait up. Ah!
You're being blocked by the
I'm
seatbelt.
trying to think if there's any other like Hispanic
And-
countries that start with a G.
I think it's Guatemala.
Yeah.
Anyway, so if not that
Cuba?
one, it's another one. They said that whenever you see an owl, it means that someone in the family has died, and they're just coming to tell you that. So
I've seen an owl before. It was in my neighborhood. It didn't tell me jack shit.
so you saw an owl, but your neighbor didn't tell you anything.
I didn't see it. I saw it on a fence around my house.
Also, can you check a little louder? It's a bit hard to hear you.
I said I saw it in a house, not on my house, in front of my house on a fence.
All right.
Now we know.
Well, but yeah, around the time that one of their relatives died, they didn't know it until after they made a call after seeing an owl out on the yard, and they got it confirmed. So I was kind of looking into it because I thought it was really interesting, and apparently a banshee, which is from Celtic mythology over in Ireland and Scotland and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Hey,
I asked what the owl's name was. He said why.
This guy.
anyway, so what happened with that was they said it was based off of barn owl. Because the barn owl's screech was a lot similar to a banshee's at the time.
Yeah.
And so what ended up happening, for example, and this is also, you could probably talk about it with La Jonona too, because of the distance and what it means. For the banshee, if you heard the banshee crying, it means there would be a death of either you or someone you know, but it wouldn't be that bad of a death. It'd be very natural, very kind of lighthearted-ish and stuff like that. Meanwhile, if there was if you heard screaming or very loud wailing, someone was going horrifically.
Like a death whistle scream?
Huh?
Like a death whistle scream.
I've heard the sound
Maybe.
of a death whistle. It's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
You never heard it?
No. Don't put it on, please.
Oh god. It literally just sounds like a demon screeching. It's crazy.
But louder.
Yeah, literally just like that. Apparently it was a some sort of South American use of tactical combat.
Yeah. For
They'd find a camp, have a whole bunch of these guys surround a camp with those whistles and just scare the shitting piss out of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's more in the Aztec and Mayan type.
Aztec and Mayan, that was it.
Yeah. The way they did it was they actually had people in the attack, but the way to scare off the Spaniards was they get the death whistle, blow it as loud as they could to actually initiate initiate several things. One of the things was to scare their opponents away, other tribes as well as other Spaniards as well. The other thing that the death whistle was used for too was also a way to actually initiate the sacrifice as well.
Really?
Because Aztecs were highly known for sacrificing several of their prey.
Oh yeah, they would oftentimes, wasn't it the virgins that they would sacrifice to?
Not
Or was
really-
that other cultures? Because
Other-
I knew that they would take out the heart of some of them and then they'd throw them into...
depending on several, but one of the biggest ones that they did sacrifice was people that they captured from war. So the way to do it was they had a makuito. It was not to kill, but it was actually to more injured.
Really?
Yes, and they'll attack their opponent. They'll attack their opponent without trying to kill them. Drag their body all the way to the temple, and they'll use them for sacrifices of different sorts. Some will actually be used for a great harvest of some sort, of corn or some sort of that.
Mm-hmm.
Others will actually make it for rain, for Dalok, the god of rain, to suffice.
Another thing too, with the Banshee Scream, a lot of the soldiers would often leave their posts once they heard that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like what you're talking about, like the...
Death whistle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, one of the things I want to mention with mythology that I'm actually kind of happy that they did in Supernatural
Oh yeah.
is the lack of Greek mythology that they've done.
Oh.
Because it's
big
talked
time.
about so much throughout literally everything else that, like, it's actually kind of nice, like, seeing that they've only mentioned it very few times.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the only 2 times that it's been mentioned probably was during the meeting of the deities, or the deities, or the gods.
Yeah, they were having a meeting for Sam and Dean to be able to be the suits for Michael and Lucifer.
No, they were meeting with them because they wanted to make sure that they could figure out a way to stop the apocalypse, and they were actually considering killing them.
True.
And then the second time was when Prometheus, they found Prometheus,
Mm-hmm.
who had apparently got freed during an avalanche.
Huh.
And then his son was having the same curse, and they were trying to break it, and that's when Zeus came in, and then Artemis kills Zeus.
Yeah. But yeah, only around those 2 times in a sense.
Yeah. And which is actually kind of nice, though. To be honest, with that lack, I'm also now curious about to see like what else is added in.
Yeah.
But and then the thing with Loki being a continuous thing is also kind of nice.
Yeah, it actually made things a little bit easier. It's funny how they actually got Gabriel and Loki to switch in a sense.
Yeah.
And it makes sense too, because for Gabriel, he actually likes to manipulate his situations in hand.
Mm-hmm.
You can see this in several other shows, like in the show Lucifer.
Mm-hmm.
When his character was introduced, he pretty much manipulated the situation into his own favor in a sense.
Which is honestly the I haven't seen Lucifer yet.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen that show, but with the way that they portray Gabriel in Supernatural, it's very different, considering that a lot of the stuff I've read about him recently, he was mainly the messenger for God a lot of times.
And most of the time, that's where he was.
Yeah, like he talked about Jesus' birth to Mary in some of the Christian Bibles.
Yeah.
Then you had it where he passed on information to the Prophet Muhammad in Islam.
Mm-hmm.
So that way the Quran was made afterwards.
Yep.
There's another one I think as well.
Mm-hmm. Should we actually move on to our next topic, actually?
Yeah.
So we're gonna drive around in
Okay.
a circle, and I'm gonna shut the up. Is a press record, please?
I've already pressed it. I've been waiting for you to go quiet. I'll cut it.